everything started obviously back in the 60s in deepest, darkest Custom House. I mean, that was the place. A lot of people used to lie to say they come from Custom House. I'd give them kudos. It made them seem harder. But to me, it was a great way of life then. Whatever way it's gone, it's gone. But you can never, ever, ever, the memories that you have from Custom House will always be. And it instilled me in this rotten music game full of spivs and wankers and con men not to have any of their shit. And I thought that was the way to go. Things musically must have started back in, 1969. I first see the Rolling Stones doing Gimme Shelter on the telly. I see Jagger with them big lips giving it some, and I thought, I'd like to do this, but obviously you're too young. 7 kids in Custom House, what you got? You got the docks, you got people knocking your teeth out, knock down ginger, that was it. So them aspirations probably were never going to happen. But in the end, through graft, we come into the 70s, top of the pops, Thursday night. You didn't have VH1 then. You didn't have it. You didn't have MTV. You had half fucking hour to see Bowie, Roxy Music, Slade, T-Rex. I thought musicians fell out of the fucking sky. I really did. It was only later on I found out what arseholes they were. But at the time, you was impressed. So from there, going on to the 70s, and the thing that did change my life, I had a band, the Sex Pistols. That was everything. I see him coat Bill Grundy off on the telly, that was proper. I see him give it to that fucking old drunk, and I thought, I wish I'd be up there and do some of that. Which was excellent. And then obviously I had God Save the Queen, the Pistols. I thought, this is it. We have got to form a band. There was no band from East London going out there and giving it some, and giving it large. Obviously I was amateur boxing at the time, which stood me in good stead. Everyone from East London was a boxer. You had St George's, you had West Ham, you had Repton, you had Lyon, Fairbairn House. I don't know how many of them are left now, but that was when the East End was the East End. And to me, that meant everything. Them kids were champions. They were fucking stars. And there was hard people. There's a couple here schoolboy champions tonight, Bobby Harvey and Johnny Durrell. I doffed my cap to you boys. Terrific fighters. They were your real stars, not some ponce in makeup. You know what I mean? Giving it some on the stage. So then that's when me and my brother Mick, I salute you mate, we decided to form a band. That was it. Now, not a lot of people know. I was the first drummer of the band, but I was shit. So we said, you can sing, and I was shit. So there you go. It's like any talented duo. I mean, you always get one who's crap. A bit like George Michael and Andrew Ridgely, you know? But the difference between them two and me and my brother, Ridgely and Michael could have a row. So from then on, obviously, we wanted to make a statement. You had the Bridge House. The Bridge House was great for music. We didn't have any equipment, so we had to blag our equipment. We had to thieve. There was some fat bastard who had a record shop at the Abbey Arms called Hutchins. He was a right miserable geezer. So we used to go in there when we were tour. I'll keep him busy fannying about saying, I want that drum kit, mate. I didn't have a fucking... There's more chance of Nelson getting his eye back than me getting that fucking drum kit. So then while he was round, Mick would have a tour. And that's the way we went. We used to be known then as the Cockney Rejects. Where it come from, I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I did. You know, we wanted to be Cockneys. We was rejected. That was the way it had to go. So we jogged on. We formed our band, 3 of us. Who was to become my brother-in-law, Chrissy Murrell. We had about 2 tunes and fuck all. So then, we blagged into Gary Bushell. I remember us at school in that great place called Woodside. Well, I learned so much. Now Mick comes blagging in, goes, come on, you're fucking off out of school. We're going up to meet Gary Bushell. Teacher tried to stop us. I said, go on, fuck off, we're away. So up we go there, we tell him we've got this great band. We've got all these songs, we've got nothing. Next minute, bosh, we're in the studio. That's the way. So we bluffed through it, we needed a song. You had Anarchy in the UK by the Pistols, really deep and meaning. You had The Clash singing about career opportunities. We picked some div who lived down our street called Gary Rollinson for our first song. We need a song. Hear that fucking div would do. He used to walk on in great big flares, and then trainers were called slippers. So we hit on flares and slippers. I mean, that's meaning. And everywhere you go around the world today, you get some fucking crowd going, what is the meaning of flares and slippers? It is so deep. And all that fucking thick bastard. He ain't got a fucking clue, has he? Where that come from? And it means so much. So he was to be our chosen victim. He was to put us on our road, like, you know, to stardom. So up we blagged that, we done it, did what we had to do. And as I say, there was at a time then, is the band changed and we went to the Bridge House and things took a little bit of a better turn in a way because there was a lot of football hooligans around here then and they got disenchanted with Sham 69, Secret Affair, so they blagged onto us. Because the ethic of me for punk music, being a kid was like, you had the Pistols, Anarchy in the UK, they were singing about that and singing about how this country was done for and the Clash, career opportunities. I, apart from wanting to put myself on the map with a band, it was West Ham. That's who I wanted to put on the map. That was it. To get out there, to be the first fucking band to get up there and say, we're West Ham, here we are, who wants it? And as much as the thrill was, I've got to be honest, about being in that band, when you see your tour dates, when they come, you know, like Leeds, fucking Birmingham, fuck the gig, I can't wait to have a row. That's the way it was. Right. And that set the tone. But from there anyway, obviously we battled on, the odds were against us. That's the way it was always going to be. We all know from where we are, nothing comes easy in this life, and that weren't going to come easy. Before you know it, 4 fucking songs, right? 4 gigs we've done. We've got 4 of the biggest record companies in the UK. They want to sign moi. I'm still at fucking school. I was supposed to be there, going over Brempton and having a row, beating the fuck out of them. All of a sudden, you got Polydor on your case, you got Decca on your case, Warner Brothers. I don't know what one of the Warner Brothers it was, but he wanted us. And then, apart from that, fuck me, the big guns. In they come, EMI, sack the Pistols. They're looking for someone. Oh, there's 25 grand. 1979. Well, fuck that. It's about Arthur Lewis Bowie Maltby's fucking wage packet now, but we was worth our money. That was worth fucking bundles back then. It was. So there you go. Bang, you signed. Fucking dodgy manager. Out you go. This is the real one. I played 4 gigs. I'm still at school. They give me a 500 quid to give me a fucking monkey check. No sex, drugs and fucking rock and roll. Not at all. I cashed that monkey check in £1 bills. I took my younger brother Trev, wherever he is. We took an old doll's pram up Freemasons Road and spunk 200 quid on fireworks. Fucking great stuff. And held him at the party's back on his LBN sign. Have that, you fucker. Bosh, right in his back. That was rock and roll. I bought an Atari Space Invaders with the rest and a remote fucking car. I couldn't drive a Ferrari, so that's all I could have. Before you know it, bang. Band's in the charts. The Entourage. Here it goes. And you know it's going to get heavier as well, because everywhere you're going into, fuck, I was only 15, don't want a medal. But you knew, as soon as the West Ham thing come, you could go to Leeds, you could go to Manchester, you could go to Birmingham, wherever you went, you was going to have their firm on your tail, and they wanted to row you. It's as simple as that. What do you do when you're West Ham? You have a go, yeah. You give it to them. So we went round there, we knew the band was going to get, like, banned. EMI never fucking helped us. They didn't want a clue. Like, you're a cash cow. Out you go. Any one sensible would have gone fuck off over to Europe for a while. Like, keep it clean. But we didn't want to. Our following built up. And I remember possibly one of our first rows was at the Electric Ballroom in Camden Town. Because what was happening, the skinheads were taking over this scene. They decimated Sham 69, the Angelic Upstarts, all them fucking gutless weeds. As whenever there was a row, they'd fuck off. Now, if you had a party and you had 20 boneheads come into your party and have a row, you'd try and smash the fuck out of them, wouldn't you, and put them out. It's no different with your gig, is it? You know? You've got to give it to them. So their first little go with us, they come out. I remember we was on stage for the first time and there was some fucking punk at the front, looked like Ronald McDonald. He had orange, no teeth like that. And he was on at Finch all the time. He kept on and on and on. All of a sudden I see him bring his fucking Dr. Martin back, do him right in the teeth all over the place. I thought, welcome boy, this is rock and roll, you know? It's not these 2 pricks, these Gallagher brothers walking around with a load of minders, is it? Going, I'll have you afterwards. Like, that was the way. So we kicked up from there. We done the boneheads. We fucking got them out of the scene. We got rid of them. We finished them once and for all. When they wanted to come to our gig and they wanted a row, we'd give it to them. We'd see them later. But then things started to move, obviously, chart records. Within fucking 12 months, bosh, I've made it, top of the pops. That show that I used to sit there with my old man and used to watch Sweet on there and go, fucking faggots. Look at them. Can't stand them. Like. And at that time, I couldn't, but I loved them as a kid. So then we got our 1.5 minutes of fame on Top of the Pops. You think it's really good. It's cushy. You're going to make it in there. We hadn't been in there fucking 5 minutes and someone had a fucking cutthroat up someone's fucking neck up there, Gregory, I tell you. And it was fucking, there was hell to pay. That was what, and every time you heard there, don't do this, you'll get banned. Don't do that, you'll get barred. Someone tried to kill Steve Wright, the DJ. I won't name him, but I wish he had done. Right? Yeah, well, yeah. Would have saved a lot of shit, wouldn't it? What a prick. But, and then obviously from there, the great thing in 1980 to move from is that the Hammers won the cup. Our last trophy. No, Intertoto Cup, sorry. Now, when we won the cup, and obviously they wanted to rush release Bubbles. There was us and a load of long-haired posers called Iron Maiden who pretended that they were West Ham fans, you know what I mean? They'd walk along with their little fucking sweatbands and all that. And so we got the job to do it. Once we'd done that and we went on Top of the Pubs with our West Ham shirts on and we went out there, crack, that was it. After that, you flew the flag. Every firm wants to know you. Things got worse from there. Obviously, you walk the walk, you talk the talk, you've got to do it all. Birmingham, 1980. 20 West Ham, ICF and us. 2 songs in, all them mobs there. Bang. They start giving it some. We've on a stage like this, we've got nowhere to go. Right, you've got a backstage here what you can't go out of. The fucking changing room's up the middle. So you've got all these fucking brommy boneheads. They're like really giving it some. So anyway, a couple of songs later, it's going off a bit. Some cunt fucking chuck something that just went past me head. Like the div I was, I turned around and said, whoever chuck that, let's go outside 1-1. That's never going to happen, is it? That's what you say. Well, I remember then my brother Mickey, we used to call him the Canary, because he always said, do you ever large pants and a vest? Like. And when we was tuning up one gig, all these brummies, and we got to start the next song, I thought, where is he? Where is he? He's gone, the guitar's not there. He's in the middle of the crack going, crack, just having it with him. So that was it. Fucking, we was all off. Well, I'll tell you about that, you know, because I'm only telling the story from the band's perspective, not that I advocate hooliganism and all that, but this is the story of what happened. And we battered them fuckers, there must have been 100 of them. And we fought them, and we obviously did. There was 20 of us, we was only kids, people like Butler, Swaller, people like that. Maybe they seemed old at the time, but they wasn't. And the violence there was just too much. Mick got cut to bits, I got cut to bits, we had a few fucking casualties. But the main thing was we walked away from there intact. We was the Rocky Marcianos of that, we never lost. And I'm still glad to this day that we stood our ground and we did it. And that was what it had to do, because as you know, once you run, once you take off, it's open season for any cunt to come and have a go at you then, and do you. And that is one thing we couldn't do. After that, the band was fucked, really. We had 18 months, we had hit records, but nobody wanted us to play. We was banned from fucking everywhere. We couldn't get on. That great Ken Livingstone stuck a GLC band on the rejects. Ken Livingstone, eh? What a prick. We never had no trouble in London. We fucking run London, you know? If there was going to be any rows, it was up north with the Bumfluff Brigade. It weren't going to happen there. So, you know, that happened. Then we started going down the tubes, really. You know what I mean? People packed off and they went off. And the rejects were dead. We got sacked by Ian Michaels. I smacked the copper, plainclothes copper outside. If I'd done it today, I would have been an hero. I would have been all over the papers. This cunt's hard, he done this and that. But we never wanted that. So the spiral was there. Things went down. People you thought were your mates. You looked at, they're staying in the holiday inn with you 1 minute, sniffing Charlie. Next minute, you go and see them. They're fucking gone. But I suppose that's the way it goes in everything. So the spiral started, down we went, feeling sorry for ourselves. Sacked from EMI, we come back, tried to be an heavy metal band. But I made the fatal mistake in 1990 of getting married. So that was definitely the end of the band, to a right crank as well, I must add. So kids... So anyway, I'm trying to move it on because I'm looking forward to the questions probably more than you are, not the answers though. So anyway, from that, we took a big sabbatical. I mean, we was out for a long, long time until years ago, skint and bored, right, and fucked off with married life, the band returned. And it's been a good return because The thing is, even though what I wanted out of it was for the West Ham thing, even though this club's never looked after any one of us in here for supporting them all them years, that still stood big. I mean, even as far as last week, I'd say we've been all over Europe, into the Lion's Den, places like Rome, with all your ultras and your people like that, Marseille and all that. They don't give us no egg. I mean, we're only five-handed. They'd probably kick the fuck out of us if they wanted to. But every one of them, their firms, comes there with a West Ham shirt on and they're ready for Bubbles. That is the thing that they want. West Side Boys. If you don't play Bubbles now, they'll kill you. But whereas you used to want to play it, they kill you for playing it. So, you know, to me that was like a mission done, and that was a good job done. So it just goes to show, really, I mean, from out of anything, you should say there's three ways out of the East End. That's fucking rock and roll, football and boxing. None of us ever really had a chance, like, coming out of being footballers or anything. We had a pub culture, and we used to like a drink, and that's what we done. And I don't think anybody was ever really dedicated. There could have been a lot of fucking stars from our manor. I've seen great footballers, Mark Alton, Stevie Gegg, people who, you know, they just didn't really want to fucking do it, like, because they never had the chance. But I'm thanking people for coming here. I've just given insight, like, into the band. Nothing rehearsed, of course. Well, you could guess that. And just coming in to thank everybody here. The question and answer session will start. And as I say, the rejects, we're still rocking on, we're going well, we come a long way. There's a lot of fucking rock people and all that who develop fucking severe drug problems. They've got no teeth, they can't get on a fucking building site. Well, we had that custom house bit in us, and we will fight it at the end, and I'll probably be doing it to the day I fucking die. I don't regret anything, that's the way it goes. And seeing these people who's turned out for me today, just to come in and listen to me to fucking rant on, I thank you all. Okay, and we'll be there soon for the questions, alright? I'll do my best.